So Jackson is my youngest, and when he was a baby, we took him just for one of those checkups that you do, like a new baby checkup. And so we went and they ran some tests. And it wasn't a couple hours later that the pediatrician, who was a close family friend, called us, and she said, look, you've got to get Jackson to the hospital as fast as you can. And so from our house, we raced to Memphis, Tennessee, which was the closest children's hospital. We took him to Le Bonheur. And they explained that there was a problem with his red blood cells. Now, our red blood cells are supposed to look like a circle that's been flattened out. Think like a cookie where it's disc-shaped and flat. And his were like that, but they were somehow broken. They said it looked like somebody had taken a bite out of these red blood cells. And so his body was making them incorrectly. And the body, like it does, it reproduces more of itself, but it was reproducing the wrong thing. And so as it reproduced the wrong thing, his body was telling itself to kill off these red blood cells. And so it was killing them off faster than it could make them. And the doctors were throwing around all these scary words that I'd never heard before, names of diseases. And so since Le Bonheur couldn't tell us what was going on, they sent us to St. Jude's Research Hospital, which is also in Memphis. And it was the scariest couple weeks of my life. We would travel there and they would take blood from our little tiny baby boy and they would run these tests, and every time they would say, the problem's there, but we can't figure out why. The problem is there, but we can't figure out why. And it was so frustrating and so heartbreaking. And I'd look through the halls of St. Jude and I'd just see these kids with tubes coming out from all over the place, and they're pushing their IV carts, and their parents are with them, and they've all got these sunken faces, and you hear these quiet cries of the parents as they're just weeping in the hallways because they don't know what's going on. And I remember my wife and I, we were just thinking to ourselves, is this going to be our life? Like, are these next few years going to be full of hospitals and procedures and drugs, only for my son's life to be taken before his potential is realized? But there was one day we went into St. Jude's, and it was a different doctor. We'd never seen her before. And so she did the usual. She took some blood tests, and she left the room as they were being analyzed, and my wife and I were just in there waiting. And we had this sense of calm that we hadn't felt before. And we started talking, and we said, something's different. Like, there's just not that sense of worry. Like, we feel like God has done something. And about an hour later, the doctor comes back in, and I'll never forget what she says. She's got the folder out with all the files, and she says, I'm looking over the notes, and I can see what was there. I can see the doctor's notes. I can see the problem that was there, but that problem just doesn't exist anymore. All of his blood work is perfectly fine. And she said to us, you have brought us a perfectly healthy baby boy. She said, he's healed. We don't know why it happened. We don't know what happened, but you're free to go and you don't ever have to come back. And I remembered I laughed and I cried and I held my baby and I held my wife close to us, and we laughed and we cried together. And we walked out of St. Jude Hospital, and I remember turning back and taking a picture of the statue of St. Jude Hospital. And before it was this face that guarded the entrance to the worst place that I knew. And now I had to take a picture to remember this place that I'd never have to return to.
Hey, thanks so much for checking out our YouTube channel. Northview Students is committed to dropping videos weekly that make you laugh and challenge in your faith. If you're enjoying the video, make sure you smash the like button and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new content. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you later.